Legend of the Hidden Temple with your guy, Kurt Fogg, and here he is now! So they made a Legend of the Hidden Temple movie, and it's something that people were sort of talking about. Most people were pretty much talking about the upcoming Hey Arnold movie that's coming out next year, but I did see some people talking about this. So I remember watching Legend of the Hidden Temple as a kid and always wanted to be on it. Always wanted to go and climb up all the things and everything like that, but obviously there was probably no way my parents would have allowed me, and by the time I would have been old enough, the show was gone. So that sort of sucked. But the show was on for Nickelodeon for years, and people liked it until they didn't air anymore, and people eventually forgot about it. So when they said that they were going to go and make a movie based on it, people were really surprised because they could make a movie pretty much based on any of their shows, and they choose to do it on the Legend of the Hidden Temple. It's pretty much just the most unlikely show for them to choose, but in the end they did it. So they aired it and I watched it, and I think it was actually pretty good. I liked it because there could have been so many things that could have gone wrong with this. So many things. But for what I got, it was pretty good. Wasn't the best thing, I wasn't expecting much from it, but for what I got, I did actually like it. Because they could have screwed us over with so many cheap jokes and stupid things like that. And yeah, they were in there, but not as nearly as much as I thought it was going to be. So the story is pretty much about these three siblings named Noah, Sadie, and Dudley who go to this little music park based on this old temple. And the one sibling named Noah thinks it's all real and that the legends are actually true, even though the other siblings don't believe him and just make fun of him for it. But of course they go there and they see it's pretty much just a little music park and there's really not much to it, and they also have Kurt Fogg there, who's one of the guys. So that was pretty cool. But he goes and tells them that years ago that there was this civilization that lived there, and that the king was pretty much almost getting overthrown by one of his evil sons. So he and his good son tried to go and stop them, but the only way they were able to really do it is have the king go and do some kind of spell that turned them all into stone, and the king eventually turned into Olmec. So years later, they're stuck like that for centuries until years later where the kids go and somehow get in there. So they, even though most of them don't want to do it at first, they choose to go and take a challenge to go and get these two pieces of a medallion or something together, and that kind of represent that one side and another side, and if you get them together, the things will go back to normal, that kind of thing. So, so they pretty much go on this kind of quest, trying to get the two things, and they, of course, are getting attacked by guards who are trying to go and get the thing, and so they can go and rule the land and everything like that. So it was pretty good. I definitely thought it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I was speculating this on for months, but I did kind of like it. So one of the things I did really like in it was the action. For a Nickelodeon movie, the action was actually pretty good. During one scene, you had these one of the guards was trying to chase the kids, and he went on this rat trying to chase them, but they were able to get him off, and he went into the river. And then a blue piranha went and got him and pulled him underwater. Then they went over and fell over on the waterfall. That was pretty freaking cool, actually, for a Nickelodeon movie. I like that. There was this other scene where they were jumping on these rock-like things, and then there was all this lightning and pretty much zapped anybody who went under there. Then one of the guards went and got pushed in there, and then he was gone. So there was quite a lot of action in there. It's definitely not what you usually expect from a kids movie like this, but the action was pretty good. I for the most part liked it. And let's see, what else did I like? Oh, and the Easter eggs. Some of the Easter eggs were also pretty good. They had some, I mean, at least something similar to the original music of the show. That was pretty cool, and they also had other references to the show, like back when Kurt Fogg was wasn't what I'm looking for, the host back in the mid-90s. So that was pretty cool too. The comedy was, there were some parts that got me, but others were kind of stupid. Like, there was this one part where these two kids were trying to put this monkey statue together, and then they couldn't figure it out. And I was just like, come on, we're going on too long with this. So then they have a little 4 hours later thing. I was like, they really went there. They went with the SpongeBob-like joke, and they're still doing it. That part I didn't really care for. It was weird, and I was just like, wouldn't the guards have went and got to them by now? What were they doing in that last 4 hours? But it was just kind of minor right there. And I guess the actors were actually pretty good. They played a pretty good part. None of them sound cheesy or that they didn't want to be there or anything like that. It did sound like, for the most part, they were trying hard on this, even though the three kids probably never even heard of this show before they went and signed up for this thing. And the ending was also pretty cool. I probably won't say anything to go and spoil it, but I did like the ending for the most part. It was pretty cool. So it wasn't the best movie ever, but it's definitely a lot better than for what I got. Because it could have been a really, really bad movie, but it did show that Nickelodeon still at least has some skill in them. It's just trying to get out, but they're just blocking it away. So I hope this is a huge success, and they go on to go and make more of these kind of movies. Not too much. I hope they don't overdo it, but just a few more. If they make a movie for pretty much every one of their old shows, then that would be stupid, and it will eventually get ruined at one point. So, I liked it. It was a good movie, and I guess I would say I would recommend it. It is a nice callback to what the show was, and if you did like going the original Legend of the Hidden Temple, I think you would technically like this part. So it was pretty good. I also like the Aztec guys that were kind of in it. I really don't remember what the originals were really like in the show, but they were pretty cool. They were kind of like this Aztec civilization from just hundreds of years ago. They had all the temples and the clothes and things like that. That was pretty cool as well. But they didn't really say that much, actually. They only spoke a few words, and they also spoke English. I don't think, at least from what I know, I'm not that educated on Aztec history, but I don't think that a lot of them knew English. Maybe they did. I might be wrong on that, but I just kind of found it weird, because yeah, I know they technically have to speak it so you can understand them, but couldn't they have subtitles or something just in their own language? Would it really be that hard just to go and make up some language? But who cares? One thing I also hated was the part where the brother and sister were just having this heartwarming moment. I thought it was a little too cheesy. I was just like, come on, get on with this part, go back to the action. That was the fun stuff, go back to that. That stuff went on too long, I didn't care for it, it got boring really quick. They spent way too much time on that part. But when they finally got back to the action, it was pretty good. So, that's pretty much all I have to say on that movie. It's pretty good for what I got. I was expecting it to be pretty bad, but it was pretty good. I'll admit to that. So I hope they make more of these in the future. Not too much, but just if they do make more in the future, just don't screw up on them. Get some good writers, make them like this. And I'm also looking forward to that Hey Arnold movie. It's because we're finally getting some more information on it, and it's starting to look pretty good. It's still a year away, but it's starting to look good. So yeah, I recommend this movie. It's good. I liked it. Surprised me. For once, good job, Nickelodeon. I haven't really said that in years, really, but you did actually a decent job on this. So, thanks for watching this video, and hope you have a great day.